All righty, welcome everyone to our topic today. Thanks for joining us. We'll be covering banking during a pandemic. And so we have quite a few different topics that we'll cover today. So we're just excited to cover them. A little bit about us before we dive into things. We're Fair Credit Foundation. We're a nonprofit out of Salt Lake City. We provide services to all over the state of Utah as well as the country. And so our mission is to teach individuals and families how to manage their finances wisely to improve and sustain financial well-being. And so some of our services that we provide, we offer free financial coaching. So we can sit down with one of our counselors, sit down one-on-one, go over your situation and help you work through what your financial goals are and how to achieve them. One of our services that we also offer is our debt management plans, where we can work as a third party essentially to help you manage your debts between you and your creditors. So that's a little bit about that service. We also have our IDA program, which is our match savings account. And so the funds that you can put into there that we match can go towards starting a small business, getting into school, or starting a small business, or getting into a home, excuse me. There's the three things. And so you can always ask us a little bit more about that, for eligibility and things like that. So of course, we provide financial education. You can always go to our website to see what webinars we have coming up or other events by going to our website, faircredit.org. And our last program that we have is our Credit Gazelle program, which is a refinancing of payday loans. And so that's a little bit about us and some of the services that we provide. But one main service that we also provide is our opportunity accounts. And that's what we want to touch on a little bit today. And so I'll turn the time over to Itzel to cover opportunity accounts.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Talon, for that wonderful introduction. And then thank you all for joining us today. I mean, I know it's recorded, but we appreciate you taking the time to watch this. And we hope that these monthly presentations are helpful to you in some way because we enjoy doing them. So as Talon said, my name is Itzel. I'm also a financial coach here at Fair Credit, and we'll be talking about our opportunity accounts. We'll be going over what they are, how you can apply, and then the application process. If you have any questions, I mean, we can't answer them at the end, but please feel free to email us or call us with any questions you might have. We'll have a slide at the end with that information on how you can contact us. Alrighty, Talon, next slide. Thank you. Alrighty, so what is an opportunity account? It's a joint savings account between the saver, Fair Credit, and Zions Bank. We have it set up that way to help our clients save without easy access to withdrawals. So instead of just logging into your mobile app to transfer money from your savings to another account, or going to the ATM or just a branch to withdraw money, you have to come talk to your coach or myself first to authorize the withdrawal. So again, we have it set up this way because a lot of our clients who want to get back in the habit of saving or just want to start saving toward whatever their goal is, sometimes having money sitting in their account with easy access to withdrawal can be a trigger. So by having this joint account, before they can even go and take money out, they'll have to come talk to their coach or myself to discuss, okay, is this withdrawal going to go towards your goal? If not, should we really doing this withdrawal, etc. So this account is also great for those who can't open a checking or a savings account due to a check systems. So our opportunity account overrides most check systems. So if you have any outstanding balances with any bank or a credit union and can't open any new accounts until those are taken care of, come talk to us. This account would probably be able to help you at least open an account and have a safe space for your money until you're able to take care of those other accounts, and then open different checking or savings account with your preferred branch, or excuse me, bank or credit union. Awesome, next slide. Cool. So how do you apply? First things first, call us up to schedule an appointment with a financial coach. So it would be me, Talon, or Mackenzie, to see if you're eligible for the program. Once you've scheduled that appointment, during that appointment, we will discuss your situation and kind of create a plan for your goals. But before we even dig into like what services we have, and even if this one is going to be, you know, the program for you, we'd like to kind of get an idea of, you know, why you came to us, what your financial hardship is, and then from there determine, you know, is this going to be a good account for you? Will it be beneficial, etc. So once we've determined that and you decide to proceed with the opportunity account, then we will go and start the application process, which is super short and simple. And honestly, you can be enrolled within the same day. But with the pandemic now, it might be a little bit more difficult just because I know some banks still have their lobbies closed due to the pandemic. But I think with Zions Bank, they're willing to work with us if that's the case. Either way, we'll make sure we can open that account for you. Thank you, Talon. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the application with you guys section by section, just because it can be a lot. So I thought I'd just go through each section with you and then kind of explain a couple things. So the first side of the application just kind of goes over all of the requirements and all that stuff. So the first section here is gonna have just your basic information. So your name, your social. We need your social to open an account with Zions Bank, and then your address. And then the next part will just be all the requirements needed to proceed. So if you feel comfortable with all of those 5 requirements, then definitely move on. The policies and procedures are going to be in the back of this handout, but we'll go through those individually in a little bit. Thank you. Alrighty, so this next section is just more terms that come along with the account, and I'll kind of go through them little by little. So the first one is meeting with your coach regularly. So you will discuss this part during the first appointment and decide when you will meet with your coach via phone or video chat. So whether it be a month, every 2 weeks, every 2 months, whatever you guys come up with will be your agreement. And then you will also complete a savings plan with your coach to make sure you're on track to achieving your goal. The minimum deposit each month is $15, but you can definitely make more than that. Again, when you meet with your coach in person or over the phone for the first time, you guys will discuss what you can afford to save each month, or to put into this account each month. And then anytime you are unable to make a deposit for whatever reason, maybe you don't have employment or there was an emergency that came up, please contact your coach directly and immediately. Just because we're here to help, and your coach honestly is here to make sure you achieve your savings goal. So if when something comes up and you can't make the deposit, please let us know. Like, honestly, we're trying to help you, so we're not gonna say, oh, too bad, you can't, you're out of the program. But we want to make sure you utilize us and contact us when things like this happen. And then obviously abide by all of our programs, rules, and responsibilities. And then the last section here is just the reasons you could be terminated from the program. So the first one, if there's any fraud or if you're reporting inaccurate or misleading information, you can be terminated for that reason. If you have more or 2 missed deposits, if you have a third one, you could definitely be terminated. Again, that's why I can't stress enough that talking to your coach or contacting them or staying in contact with them regularly is super beneficial, because we're here to help you. So if you don't deposit for like 2 months and we haven't heard from you, we're less likely to be like, okay, well, let's work something out, right? Compared to somebody who's always in touch with us or with their coach, and keeping us posted on what's happening with their account. And then the third one is just relocation outside of Utah. So this program is only for Utah residents. So if you move to a different state, no worries, just let us know. We'll close your account and then give you your funds that you have deposited into that account, or refund you your funds. And then the last section is just signature from yourself, your coach, and our executive director or our programs director, to make sure you understood that front page of the application / agreement. Cool. So this back part of the application is just our policies and procedures for our opportunity accounts. So the first section is the account structure and how to open your account. So again, this is a joint account between Fair Credit and our client, our participant, and Designs Bank. These accounts are only going to be held at certain branches of Zions Bank. Not every branch works with our account, so we'll give you a list of ones that we have all over Utah, and then you pick the one that's closest to you or one that you like over other ones. Doesn't matter, whatever you like, whichever one you like, we'll make sure to have you open your account there. There are no fees with these accounts. So if you ever get a fee for whatever reason, let us know. Zions Bank, they have, just like any other company with a lot of clients, sometimes they make mistakes. So, excuse me, if there are any errors or if you get charged, whatever kind of fee, let us know and we'll take care of that. And then Zions Bank will pay market rate of interest. So, you will make a little bit of interest with this account. I can't tell you how much. It's not a lot, but it's, I think, like $1 maybe in the amount of time you have the program or the account. But if you whatever interest you make, it'll all be for you. And then to open your account, once you've gone through the whole application and you understand all the policies and agree to everything, then we'll go ahead and get you signed up for the account. So what I'll do is I will write a account authorization letter to the bank, the manager for the branch you selected, and I'll just let them know that so-and-so is opening an account for this amount of time, making this many deposits or this much amount of deposits each month, etc. And then you'll go into that branch and you'll have to include 2 forms of ID when you open your account. And then when you open your account, you can go ahead and make your first deposit, or you don't have to. You'll probably decide that with your coach on when you'll start making these monthly deposits. So these letters will be good for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, if you haven't gone to the bank to open your account, then they'll expire and they won't let you open one unless you have a new letter. So if that happens, let me know or let your coach know, and I'll happily write you another one, but I would really suggest you try to go within those 2 weeks just to make sure that doesn't happen. Alrighty, so this next section is just withdrawals and missed deposits. So when you go and withdraw, it'll require your signature and probably your coach's or the executive director or myself, right? If you have any emergency withdrawals or need any emergency withdrawals, again, please let us know. We're here to help you. So as long as you're in contact with your coach, letting him know, keeping up with them and following up with them regularly, we'll be able to help as much as we can, especially for these type of emergencies that sometimes pop up. And then for missed deposits, again, like I said before, you're expected to deposit as agreed, and you'll discuss this with your coach when you start setting up your plan. Failure to deposit without communication with your coach can result in termination. Again, we don't want to terminate you, so if, like I said, utilize us as coaches, and really, if there's something going on and you can't pay, let us know. We're happy to help you and figure out a plan that helps you. And then again, just to reiterate from earlier in the presentation, more than 2 missed deposits can terminate you from the program. So again, I'm going to keep saying this because it's super, super important. Keep in contact with your coach or even myself, because we're here to help you and we want to make sure you achieve your savings goal. So keeping contact with us regularly is very, very important. Cool. And so the last little section here are the account terms. So this program is a 12-month program. And you are eligible to withdraw at 6 months. But I mean, if you have to withdraw earlier, this will be talked and discussed with your coach, and we can set up that plan to have it be that way. But after your 12 months, if you would like to renew your account or keep it going after 12 months, let us know. We're happy to renew that for you if you want it. And then last but not least, once you read everything and agree and understand everything, of course, sign it, date it, and then after this is signed and dated, that's when we go and create that account authorization letter, send it over to you via email, and then you go and open your account at the designated branch. So once you open your account and you make your first deposit, in the future, you don't have to go to that same branch to make your deposit. You can go to any Zions Bank branch. The only time you have to go to a designated branch is when you're going to open an account, withdraw funds, or close your account. Other than that, making monthly deposits can literally be at any branch that you prefer. So that was a lot, I know, which is why I wanted to put every like a screenshot of every section of the application so you could review it on your own. And then any questions that you might have that maybe I wasn't clear enough on, or you just want to know more information, please do not hesitate to call me. Again, we'll put the information at the end of the slide on how you can contact us. But yeah, these are great accounts. And again, if you're interested in even knowing a little more, give us a call because we're happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Itzel. That was awesome to hear about that. And it is a great opportunity, hence the name, so no pun intended, but anyway, thank you. And so, yeah, utilize us if you are struggling to open up an account with the bank. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. I have a few additional slides with just some additional information for you in regards to banking in general and some helpful tips out there. So wanted to start off with this quote from an AARP article from September 2020 issue of AARP Public Policy Institute. It says bank accounts are a basic but critical financial product, and we all know that. That banks, they're part of today's society. And to continue on with the quote, without an account, consumers may ultimately end up paying twice for the most basic of tasks, such as, first converting paper checks to cash, and again to purchase money orders or to pay bills, etc. Right? And so the article continues on to answering, like, why does this happen in that second paragraph there? The most common reason cited across age groups is that people feel they do not have enough money to keep in their accounts, with more than half of all respondents mentioning this is one of the factors behind their unbanked status. So really, it boils down to maybe not having enough money, right? We're living paycheck to paycheck. And so hopefully we can talk a little bit about that. And of course, always reach out to a financial coach here at Fair Credit to receive some of those answers and work through how to avoid living paycheck to paycheck. But something else to show you just all the different responses from the article of why people don't have a bank account, some of the different reasons. That second biggest area of why people don't have a bank account is they feel that they're untrusting, that there may be something wrong, or just an uneasiness of leaving their money with a banking institution. And so that was the second. The third is going into the privacy issue. Again, trust, privacy, both of those playing a big part in. And then, of course, some of the fees being too high and you can read there, the list goes on and on. But wanted to touch on some of these and just essentially help you understand that banks are safe places and let's get you over that hump of not having enough money each month, but that way you can actually start building some wealth. So with banking options, there's many different routes you can go. There's two types that are prevalent today when it comes to banks. There's your traditional brick and mortar banks, or there's online banks. Um, I'll distinguish the two a little bit, but when it comes to traditional banks, they do offer some online services. But what I'm talking about here are two different entities, essentially. So traditional banks have ATM access. They have the actual buildings that you can walk into. They're physical locations that you can walk right into, receive some help, right? Some of that personal face-to-face service. And they have a wide variety of and comprehensive amount of different products available, more than just your typical checking and savings account, right? They have some different types of loans that they can offer, different credit programs, and the list goes on and on, right? Then there's the other side of the coin, just the online direct banks. These are institutions that forego the traditional brick and mortar buildings and the ATMs, but rather have just online access, which by saving on these costs, they can generally offer higher interest rates on your savings accounts and often have lower fees with those different accounts as well. And it's convenient in the fact that you can access it wherever you have internet, right? On your smartphone, computer. And so they're different entities, but offer a lot of the same products. But wanted to touch more on the online banks, some of the pros and cons to give you some different perspective, because we all know a little bit more about just regular banks, but kind of painting a picture into this online bank side of things. So some of the pros to online banks is it's easy to deposit checks by capturing a picture, right? So you can take your paycheck from work, if you still get a paper copy, take a picture on with your smartphone, and that money gets uploaded into your account. A lot of traditional banks are moving towards this feature as well, which is especially nice considering today's day and age with the pandemic and what's going on. And so being able to avoid having to work with someone face to face for safety reasons. Some other pros, usually again, higher rates of interest on savings. That way you're getting more bang for your buck by having them in an online bank versus a traditional bank. And again, those generally lower fees. Some cons to the online banking, again, is the lack of personal interaction. You're more primarily dealing with automated prompts and consumer help support. So not as much personal interaction. Not to say that it's not there, but you're not going to get the same versus a traditional bank. There's not as many services and products available. It's pretty bare bones when it comes to these different types of banks, which may be good if you're looking for something simple. But if you are looking for some of the more comprehensive services, you may not find those with the online banks. There's also an inability to cash or deposit cash, right? There's no ATMs or physical locations. So depositing cash is essentially impossible. And so that's something to consider too, if you're more of a cash user, to consider that when it comes to these online banks versus a traditional bank. So something that I also wanted to touch on when it comes to banking, again, helping you have more money to put into an account is to make it automatic, right? So we touched on that most of these traditional banks are moving towards these online services, but something that you may not consider or have thought of before is the automatic savings side that banks are offering to individuals. That third bullet point down, another fundamental part of online banking and just banking in general is establishing automatic savings. You may need to talk with your job, your employer, HR department, whoever it may be, about getting it set up. But typically you can talk with your bank that you choose in setting up these automatic savings. And how it works is money is automatically withdrawn from your checking account, or really any account that you choose to establish this withdrawal from, and then it gets sent to that savings account. Just an easy transfer of money that happens automatically, and this can be done anytime, any number of times, and at any dollar amount, right? There may be some limitations and special requirements with each various bank, but generally speaking, setting up an automatic savings can really help out with having more money in your pocket. Because if you set it up automatically, you're not worried about it, you don't even think about it, and all this money just shows up. It's essentially like having another bill, but instead of money going to someone else, it goes to you. So something really cool to consider to help you have more money in your pocket. Now, earlier with our opportunity accounts that Itzel was touching on, she mentioned check systems. Now, this is a system kind of similar to annual or the different credit reports that keeps a record of your dealings with banks and your banking history, more of the side of your mishandlings with accounts in the past. So these mishandlings may include, bouncing a check, failing to pay a fee, overdrafts, whatever it may be, outstanding balances. And so they keep record of this. And most banking institutions have access to this and report to this system. And that's what's probably preventing you, if you've had troubles getting an account in the past, is something to deal with this. And so the information here is kept on your record for 5 years. And like a credit report, if there's any misinformation that needs to be corrected, it can't be disputed. And the place to go to get a copy of your report for free and to do any of these disputes is by going to checksystems.com, where you will be able to access that. So again, if you're having troubles getting an account, talk with us about our opportunity account, see what we can do to help you out there. Another way to check to see if there's any outstanding balances or things affecting your ability to get an account is by checking your credit. And you can do this through annualcreditreport.com. Going there, getting a free copy of your report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus. And right now, just because of COVID-19 and everything that's happening, you can get a report every week instead of just once a year, all the way through April of 2021. So this next coming year. So with that being said, a great way to, again, check to see where you're at with your banking status is by going through check systems and checking your credit report. One last thing I wanted to touch on too, when it comes to banking and helping you get back on your feet with your finances, especially when it comes to your credit, is looking into secured credit cards. And this is a product that a lot of different banks offer. So you'll want to talk with them about their individual programs. But generally speaking, these cards are like any other credit card. You can use them. You're using someone else's money essentially, but there's a little catch that makes it easier for you to acquire one of these cards and protects you and the lender. And this is with that security deposit, hence the name secured. And like a security deposit for an apartment, there's this money that's paid up front and held in case there's a missed payment or a failure to pay over time. And so that money's again there to protect you. But over time, as you use the card and show your ability to use this responsibly, you can get that money back. And it's just a great, easy way to build your credit, especially if you keep the balances low and make on-time monthly payments with this card. So with that being said, again, this is our information. You can email us at info@faircredit.org. You can call us by reaching us at 801-483-0999 and visit online at faircredit.org. We'd love to help you out with any sort of questions, and you can always reach us via our social media, and we'd love to help you out with your banking struggles that you're trying to overcome, and just any questions that you may have in general about your finances. That's what we're here for, is to expand your financial capability. So with that, thank you for joining us, and we hope to hear from you soon.